Hi, my name is Carl Schelscheit. Welcome to ePrep. I want to give a little advice to international students who are not native English speakers. And I want to give you my advice through a story. A Hun School student from Russia recently contacted me and asked if I could help her out with her critical reading. And so I agreed, and today I met with her. And so we sat down and I gave her a critical reading test, and after 25 minutes I stopped her and we graded the test together. And what we quickly found out was that she really struggled with the sentence completion, which told me that her English vocabulary was lacking. And she did pretty well with the reading comprehension, probably about as well as the average American student. And so the issue was clearly how to improve her vocabulary, and what I'll add to the story now is that we are only 2 weeks away from the SAT. And so obviously I wish I could have met with her last year or a few months ago to help her with the critical reading. In 2 weeks it's very difficult to improve a vocabulary high enough, or well enough for a student to get a dramatic increase in their SAT score. And so what I told her was this. We went through all of the words that she didn't know, and there were probably about 30 words. And I gave her very quick, simple definitions of those words. And I encouraged her to, on her own, in the next 2 weeks, try to memorize as many of those words as she could. I also instructed her to go through additional practice sections in critical reading and circle every word she didn't know and make an effort to memorize as many of them as she could. But what I suggested was that I help her out with the math. Her highest math score right now is a 690. And I feel like when American admissions officers look at the scores of an international student, especially a international student that is not a native English speaker, they're going to expect a very, very high math score. And if the writing and critical reading scores are not very high, they will look to the TOEFL exam, to the TOEFL score, to evaluate your ability to function with the English language. Okay, so my goal right now in the next 2 weeks is to help this young Russian girl get her math score well into the 700s, maybe 800, and really beef that up, make that a very strong score, and then have her on her own as much as she can in the next 2 weeks work on the vocabulary. And so again, I think that if you are an international student who is not a native English speaker, you would like to, in the perfect situation, get the highest math score that you can, get a score into the 700s if possible. And if you need to neglect the writing and critical reading in order to do that, do it, and then rely on your TOEFL score to prove that you can function very well within the English system.